Fire King has been really strong in the OCG, and soon the new Fire King consort Ulkanix will be released in Master Duel. It is just a matter of time for Ulkanix to release in the TCG as well, and that's why I will show you all the combos you need to know to play this deck without the Snake Eye cards, without any other engine. So stay tuned for that and let's go into it. Okay, so the first combo I will show you will be with just the Fire King consort Ulkanix and any fire monster. So you were just going to normal summon the Ulkanix, then activate its effect. When it is normal summoned or special summoned, you can destroy one fire and then add one fire beast, beast warrior or winged beast, which are basically all the Fire King monsters. And then you can make this card's level become that monsters. This is not really that relevant, the level, because in my variant you only play one XE, so sometimes if you destroy, for example, the Kirin from the deck, search the Garunix from the deck, then it is definitely viable to just go into your Garunix Eternity, but right now in this combo it's not relevant to modify the level. So you're just going to search for the legendary Fire King Ponix. Ponix will then special summon itself, and Ponix will then search for the Sanctuary. Sanctuary will then be activated. This will then set the Fire King Island, and then with the Fire King Island you can destroy the Ulkanix and go for Garunix. Then you will chaining one Garunix, chaining two Ulkanix, because you don't really it's not that bad if the Ulkanix gets negated, but if the Garunix gets negated somehow from the end, then that's way worse. So that's why you're going to chaining one this. Then you're going to special summon the old Garunix and then special summon your new Garunix. And then you will trigger its effect to destroy Avatar, or I think, yeah, Avatar in this case. And then you will special summon anything back. You only have the Ulkanix, but if you had something else, it really does not matter which you summon back, because you're going to link it off anyways. Now you're going for IP, because you need it in the graveyard. And then you will go for your Promethean Princess. Princess will then summon back the Avatar. And then you can just go into your Embler Whale, and with the Embler Whale and the Avatar you can then just pass, and this does not look like that much, but you still have the Avatar to negate. Then you can destroy your Embler Whale, and then if the Embler Whale gets destroyed, you can special summon back the IP Masquerina from your graveyard and trigger the Garunix, so you have enough fodder. And you still have the Promethean Princess, so there are many ways of interactions. I will just show it right here. So you're passing, draw phase, standby phase, main phase, and then let's say your opponent normal summons Snake Eye Ash somehow, and then you will just go Avatar. Then you destroy the Embler Whale, trigger Embler Whale and Garunix, and then you can then trigger the Garunix second effect, which will then dump the Kirin. Kirin will then special summon the Ulkanix, and note this is not a ignition effect, this is a trigger effect on normal or special summon, so you can immediately activate this, and that's also why I do play the Rang Bali, because you can just destroy the Avatar and then search for Rang Bali, and then you can go chaining one Avatar, summon anything back, this which will just be link fodder, and then chaining two Rang Bali to special summon, and like that you will have another spell negate and the Ponix, which can be destroyed, and then you can get it back in your next standby phase, so you even have follow up through this. So then you can use the IP, you can either go into Appaloosa with these three, and then for example you can still use this effect, and also you can just let one of the materials on the board and then go into SP with the IP. This is just another example, and you still have the Promethean Princess in your graveyard, and you also still have the Embler Whale, which can pop any card your opponent controls non-targeting if your link 3 or lower monster is destroyed. So you still have a lot of interruptions from which is basically a one card combo with the what is it called, the Ulkanix plus any fire monster, and you will always draw any other fire monster. So yeah, that's the first combo, and I will show you one more combo. If you have Ponix and Barong, you will just normal summon the Ponix. Ponix will then, as always, add the Sanctuary. Sanctuary will then get you the field spell. You will just activate the island, destroy the Barong, and then with this you will get your Garunix, and the Garunix will then just special summon, and then you can destroy from your deck the Kirin, not the Kirin, the Ulkanix. And Ulkanix will then get you another link material, which will give you back the other Garunix. And like that, you have 3 link materials, so you're going as before into IP, and the Ulkanix will go into your Promethean Princess, and then the Promethean Princess will revive anything, and you will just go into your Emblem Whale. And now you might think, okay, this is just like the board before, but we don't have the avatar, so this is way worse. But actually, the Barong will trigger in your opponent's standby phase, and then you will just add yourself the Kirin, and then you're not even reliant on your opponent, for example, using a monster effect. So you can just wait until the main phase, your opponent does anything, and then you will chain Kirin, destroy the Emblem Whale, and then you can just trigger both your Emblem Whale and Garunix. Garunix will summon back, and the Emblem and the IP Masquerina as well. And then you can destroy, for example, Avatar. If you have any other way to pop your Kirin, then you can just wait. For example, you could just use the Promethean Princess to pop your Kirin, and then the Kirin could later summon back the Avatar. But at this point, you could also just destroy the Kirin from your deck, another Kirin, and the Kirin can then special summon back the Ulkanix, and then the Ulkanix can immediately trigger and destroy to search Rangbali again. So there are different ways to approach this combo, and also it's always up to what your opponent has in his deck. So you can then either get to the monster negate, or you can get to your spell and trap negate. So this is really strong. Also, the Ulkanix, for example, could also destroy a card in your hand, and at that point you would also have 2 level 8s on your end board to trigger the Fire King Sanctuary. And yeah, that's basically it for this combo. I hope you enjoyed it. I can just go into the deck profile. So we got right here 17 spots of non-engine. This is 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Vela, 2 Ghost Ogre, 3 Mourner, 3 Imperm, and 3 Fenrir. You could play anything else, but I do like the Fenrirs because you can destroy them with Viking Island and search, for example, the Ulkanix and then normal summon it. So this is not just good non-engine, but it can also be like discard or destroy fodder, whatever you want to call it. But you could also play Imperms and not Imperms, Tactics, or maybe other hand traps like Nibiru's. There are definitely a lot of different non-engine. Then we got 3 Garunix, and in the Snake Eye Fire King variant you're only playing 1, but in this variant you have so many fire cards, you have so many ways to pop your monsters that you actually want to have more than just 1. So you actually want to draw this, and that's why you play 3. Then we got 3 Ulkanix. Ulkanix is a really strong normal and special summon, so you want to draw this all the time. If there was any other way to search this except for the Viking Island, then I would definitely love to play it. If this was, for example, a Beast Warrior, I would definitely play Tankies, but yeah, I do think that this is good at 3, and you should never run less. Then we got Fire King Ponix. This is also super strong. You always want to draw this because this is basically your Viking Island or Sanctuary or the Skyburn. I will come to that later. Then we got 3 Kirin. This dodges Veiler, Imperm, and Mourner, and you do want to draw this. Oh, what did I do here? Then we got 2 Avatar. I only play 2 because I do think that 3 is a little bit bricky, and I don't want to play Avatar control and just normal summon Avatar and then pass to my opponent. That's why I only play 2, because if you, for example, draw Avatar with Barong, then this is always at least a little bit better. Or if you maybe draw like Avatar plus Anifire plus Rangbali, there are just infinite ways to combo with Avatar, but you always have to have access to Ulkanix or Ponix, and that's why I do think that just drawing the Avatar or drawing too many of this is just not that good. Also Barong, many play one of this. I do think that this is a really good card, because this is always really good to pop with the Ulkanix, because worst case it's just a fire, but it can trigger in your opponent's turn, because if you're for example destroying the Ash, it's just there, it's just in the graveyard and you cannot interact with it any further. That's why I do think that the Barong is just really good. I know it's not non-engine and it hasn't got any other very good effect, but I do think that you should definitely play this, because it's just really good. It can search Kiran, it can search Ponix, it can search Garunix, it can search anything you want in this deck. It can also search Rangbali. Then we got the Garunix. This is just mandatory because you can only special summon the old Garunix. I would have laughed if they had like if this had to summon a Garunix monster, because then this would definitely be way better. But you have to play this at 1. It sucks to draw this because it can only special summon from the deck. I do think so. Yeah, from your deck in defense position. Oh, in defense position, I didn't know that. Whatever. Okay, yeah, but that's, you have to draw, you have to play it. So yeah. Then we got 2 Viking Islands, 2 Sanctuary, and 1 Skyburn. You do want to have this most of the time, but you don't actually want to draw like 1 Sanctuary and 1 Island, so that's why I don't play more than 4, because hard drawing this is okay, because then you can just use the Ponix to search the Skyburn and then you still have another useful card, but drawing 2 of this is just bad, so that's why I'm with 2 and 2. And then we got 1 Skyburn. As I said, you always want to have something else to search from the Ponix. And yeah, you could also play the Circle. What is it called? Fire King? Is it Circle? I don't know. Circle of the Fire Kings, yes. And this is also really strong because it can also revive the Promethean Princess. But I mean, you don't need it, and you could play it, but I wouldn't know what else I would want to cut. I would always rather want to draw Barong instead of the Circle, and yeah, you can maybe cut 1 non-engine for it, but I think the deck is really fine like that. It's probably the most optimal variant. You could maybe think about playing like more than 40 cards, and then you can add this and maybe add more Viking Island and Sanctuary and maybe more Viking cards, maybe a 3rd Avatar, but I do think that this is really optimal like that. So yeah, tell me what you think about this list. And yeah, then we got for the extra deck is pretty standard. We got 1 Garunix Eternity for the Sanctuary. We got 1 Anima, 1 Chimera, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Heater, 1 Sunlight Wolf, 1 SP Little Knight, 1 IP, 1 Nightmare Unicorn. You could definitely play something else, but I really like the spot removal, and it can sometimes be very handy to have this. And yeah, then we got 2 Promethean Princes. You could cut this as well to 1, but I do like it at 2, and sometimes you just need the second one if yours get SP'd or maybe crowed or called by, and then this is just quite handy to have the second one. Then we got Raging Phoenix, we got Zelantis for the OTK, then we also got 1 Appaloosa and 1 Emblem Whale, and this is basically the whole deck list. Yeah, please tell me what you think of the deck, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment, and have a nice day.